This video is brought to you by New Arc Line, a party-based fantasy CRPG out now in early access. Enter a steampunk world where magic meets technology, humans meet elves, and Harrys meet Sallys. As a fresh-faced resident of the New World, you set out to find a cure for the mysterious Iron Plague that's been, well, plaguing your loved ones. Create your hero and round up a party for adventuring, turn-based tactical fighting, and maybe even love. Time permitting, I'll have what she's having. What kind of hero will you be? Will you curse, debuff, and control your foes as a voodoo shaman, or embrace technology as a diesel punk engineer and snipe the magical abominations with high-powered rifles and trick shots from dual-wielded pistols? The world is your oyster, and oysters are delicious, therefore your world is delicious. New Arc Line is out now in early access, so head on over to the Steam page and start your journey in the new world today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Windbreakers podcast. Oops. Sorry, just a sec. Something just started blaring in my ears for some reason. That's what happens when you leave the YouTube page up. Yes, Windbreakers. I'm Yahtzee. I'm a bit scattered. I got in on my plane at like 11 p.m. last night. I'm joined by Jay, and Marty couldn't make it because he's still in wedding mode. So Casey's here. Hi, Casey.
I'm filling in for Marty.
My God, Marty's stuck in wedding mode. Like, he's just in Baltimore, just walking around, just congratulating people, just hugging people.
Yeah.
Taking pictures. Just
yeah. Just going up to homeless people and saying, so how do you know the couple?
and then they have full answers for him, too. They're just having a long-ass conversation.
But we have a job to do, and that's to analyze the results of the Game Awards, as always.
Yes.
We did our predictions, the Game Awards happen, and then we talk about how we feel about them. And I certainly have a lot of feelings this
many
year.
feelings.
Because my predictions were a bit off. I'm going to have to adjust my algorithm now. See, my algorithm said remakes and remasters never win Game of the Year because the Game Awards want to push a narrative of always moving forward. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, I thought Astro Bot probably wouldn't win Game of the Year either. But here we are. Astro Bot won like 9 things.
It won half of the awards.
Yeah.
Which I did find surprising, but like I personally never played Astro Bot. Like at a glance, I thought it was pandering. And I'll admit that that's just my bias.
Yes. So apparently nostalgia can net you the wrong prize. I guess in previous years, the games just weren't nostalgic enough. You just got to slam on that nostalgia until it's literally drowned out everyone's eyeballs.
Maybe. Well, this was the 10th one, right? So
no.
Yeah, they said it multiple times over the course of the show. This was the 10th anniversary, so they've been doing this show for 10 years. At about that run, maybe now is the time where the Game Awards can start to look back at itself as something like, oh, remember how good things were in the past? Like, we've been doing this for so long. Like, maybe this is the turning point now that it's 10 years old.
Well, I certainly think
Sony.
Generally, societally, we're probably feeling like we want to go back to a previous, less shit era.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, the main reason why
Sony as well want to do that. Sony want to go back to an era where they had games.
The reason why I didn't expect Astro Bot to win, because I also didn't think Astro Bot was terribly representative of what AAA games mostly are these days. Because as well as being a big nostalgia trip for Sony properties, it was a very classic mascot platformer in a very old school sort of attitude, I thought.
Yeah. It was just like, I don't want to say the word stealing, but paying homage to all of the, famous platforming abilities, like the flood from Mario Sunshine and a lot of the gimmicks from those past games, which, I played it and enjoyed it for what it was and, felt that little nostalgia bump. Do I feel like it was the best game of the year? No,
well,
but that's also because,
I mean, it was a good game. It's certainly not going to be my game of the year when my top 5s come out on January 1st. Tune in, everyone. What about you? What would be your individual games of the year? Do you think?
Oh, mine got like no attention whatsoever. Nine Souls is the best thing I've played this year by far.
Damn. Mine just came out too late to be a contender. My game of the year currently is Indiana Jones.
Oh, damn.
Really?
I think it's that or another game that I will not mention because I know it's on your list and I don't want to. I don't want to bring it up.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't know it's on my list. You don't know where it's going to be on my list.
I mean, I do because you've told me.
Okay. I'll just fucking say what it is. Who cares?
No, I won't because now I know what it. Now I know where it is. No, we've gone too deep. See, here's the question: why does Game of the Year only come to December? Why don't we have the awards in January for the entire year of 2024? Like, I don't get it. Why does the award season start in December?
There's no reason we couldn't include games that came out in December of the previous year.
Yeah,
Why does the Australian financial year start in June? There's some things we do not know.
Yeah, I think there is some sort of connection there with ad dollars. I think that's what it is. It's like they need to have this sort of showcase in order to like have all the checks signed and all the budgets like cleared and finalized before the end of the year so that they can have it in their books for that year.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe part of the problem, but I do not know for sure.
Also, it's possible they want to inform people's Christmas present buying. Or is that a little naive?
I mean, it's probably not something that's not considered, right?
Right.
It's definitely a bump in some way.
There's probably some reason.
I wonder if Christmas sales is still a big thing in video games. I feel like a lot of the audience of video games just buys any time of year now.
I think
it used to
gift
be
cards.
Because there's a lot of there's a lot of success stories for games coming out at other times of the year. That makes you wonder if like the optimal periods for release have blurred a little bit.
Essentially,
it does seem definitely blurred, but I think that might be for a lot of reasons. Like there are extra factors in terms of like just people's pocketbooks in terms of the economy nowadays. Like they just spend when they can, as opposed to a blur, and like just the holiday season in general. I don't know how powerful that is overall right now, based on like the same stuff, like just the state of the economy, not just like here in the US, but across all sorts of other countries too.
Maybe I think that's from the perspective of adults, though. Like I think for like children or like teens who are playing their games, I think getting your kid an Xbox game or a fucking V-Bucks gift card is probably a big thing, right? And that's where the sales are coming from. You get into that teenage age and it's like, here's money to go buy what you want, and buying a Steam gift card or an Xbox gift card is probably where that's going, rather than individual boxed games nowadays, because where are you going to buy a box game?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, you do still have to ask all your kids, like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? Right. And then a lot of those kids play video games, even if it's the same single video game.
Yeah. And also, I mean, even though you can't like wrap a digital video game purchase, if you get someone a console or any kind of platform for Christmas, the first thing they're going to want to do is buy all the currently hot games for it.
Oh, yeah.
So even digital sales get the boost at Christmas.
Oh yeah, I bet Switches sell like hotcakes at Christmas, I bet.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So Astro Bot Game of the Year, maybe we could like argue that till the cows come home. How do we feel about best game direction for Astro Bot? What does best game direction even mean anymore?
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Because who was it that won it previously? Alan Wake 2, right?
Yeah, Alan Wake 2. And my prediction algorithm states that best game direction usually goes to the game that's you could most call auteur driven.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Narrative driven.
Something that feels like somebody's baby.
I mean, with that logic, you could maybe make that case for Astro Bot, right? Except
But whose baby was it besides Sony as a whole?
right. No, like that is whose baby it is. So it's moved from like a creative to like a brand, which we shouldn't, but people definitely have a lot of love and nostalgia for brands. So like this being like, oh, this is the culmination or celebration of Sony's achievements or whatnot. It can still kind of be read in that sort of.
That's what these Game Awards just felt like. It was a big like wanking off of Sony. And it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like their victory lap for kind of being so dominant for like the past decade and some change.
Well,
Yeah.
if you could, well, you say dominant, but only because literally no one else really cares about the console war anymore.
Yeah, Xbox have moved
Yeah.
on because they're starting to dominate the PC market now.
Yeah,
so.
they just make gaming PCs that don't come with keyboards, and Nintendo are just forever in their own little bubble.
Being honest, it was kind of by force. Like Sony was kind of running away with things in terms of the fight that they started. Nintendo was like, okay, I want to play a different game. And Microsoft was like, okay, I'm going to play a different game. They just took them longer to get there.
But now I feel like...
But do we really want to like hang around in Sony's house while Sony just goes, I'm the best, wanky wank for the rest of its life?
Well, no, but like they own the house. Like it's their house.
Yeah, but now I think like over the last few years, Sony have just been, and maybe this is because the PS5 is in the end of its life cycle, but they aren't really making anything, and their big breakout game of this year is them just wanking themselves off. And I liked Astro Bot, but it is just hey, look at what we did, not what are we doing.
What we're doing, yeah, that's fair.
Is there much in the way of, would you say, like innovation in the game's design? It's mostly just, it feels like a Mario Galaxy game with like a sprinkling of alternative mechanics.
Our wonderful producer, a podcast producer, Eric, has pointed out in our Slack that Astro Bot mechanically is just the VR game. He has the clip ready. What a legend. Is just the VR game they made that didn't sell very well. Again, like all of the bosses are the exact same. The levels are retuned, obviously, but for a new perspective. But there is a lot of the designs just ripped from that game. So it is, even design-wise, masturbatory and reusing assets and stuff like that. So I
there
don't know.
You go. Being masturbatory could work as long as you're masturbatory enough.
You just have to go harder and longer.
If you wank hard enough, you'll win awards. That's the lesson learned from this Game Awards. My God.
Yes, just increase the power. More power to the wank.
The question is, though, it won Best Direction. Did it steal it? I can't name a game that should have won in its place.
What did I say should have won? Did I say Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree should have won?
Potentially? I can't. Chat, fill us in. What did Yacht say?
I think I might have said
Windbreaker.
That feels like what I would have said, because
I mean,
Elden Ring does feel like it has a very specific vibe to it.
Yeah, Miyazaki's
a
direction.
Very idiosyncratic storytelling style.
People saying metaphor, I think. You mentioned metaphor.
Huh. Well, I guess I could have said that as well. I mean, I think I said that, like, that's what they would have given game direction to, but it wouldn't necessarily have been the thing that most deserved it. I mean, best narrative, sure. Best art direction, sure. Yeah, for metaphor, those work. Best RPG, absolutely. I guess like what threw my predictions was that I kind of assumed the Game Awards would spread them out a bit more. Say, well, we didn't give you this prize, so we'll give you this prize instead. But
yeah.
Went to Astro Bot.
For that, let's talk about Balatro winning, best mobile game, best independent game, best debut indie game. It won a lot, and I think there were indie games that were deserving of.
Balatro was staggeringly popular this year.
Yeah.
And it was like a debut by the strict definitions.
Oh, for sure. But also, so was Animal Well. And Animal Well was incredibly received and is doing amazingly interesting design things. And I think that could have deserved debut at the very least.
But it wasn't Balatro popular.
It's true.
It wasn't the reason every other bloody game on Steam now is a Balatro.
But was anything Balatro popular? I'm not sure any game that won this year was Balatro popular. Like, it's all a fuck ton.
Is it possible some of the issue is the these panels are made up of judges who are throughout the industry, but like they like us don't play everything. Like, could it be weighted? But the fact that Balatro is so popular, most people have tried it, and it's an easy level of entry. So like, it's not going to take you like a huge commitment to get through it and like get into it and see what's good about it. Animal Well, on the other hand, you can start that game and not really get sucked into it until like maybe quite a bit later.
No, I got like what felt like the end of that game, and then I just sort of fell off because apparently to get to the next stage of Revelations, I had to find like one more egg, and I had no fucking clue where to even start looking for another egg.
Yeah, I was lucky with the eggs.
Couldn't be bothered.
Like I like Animal Well a lot, but I was probably one of the more lukewarm people on staff about it because I felt like it didn't do a ton that was new. Everything that it did was just really good.
No, I was pretty tepid myself, and I do remember that when we were all in Washington for recording Adventurers Nigh, we were all just lined up on the couch, all playing Balatro at certain points.
Yeah, I was playing Smash, but you all were playing Balatro.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that Balatro should have won. But I think that it won in a lot of categories where I feel there were also other deserving, games.
Well, this year was full of great indie games. I mean,
exactly.
Stuff that didn't even get on the list.
I was tempted to populate my entire top 5 because I'm currently composing. I was tempted to do like indie only, strictly, but that felt dishonest. So it's just mostly indie games.
Yeah, but it's like you were saying, Yachts. Is there any conscious effort to try and spread these things out, right? And clearly not.
Yeah, I don't know if there is.
No.
Should there?
And that's a good question. Like, would that make these awards more meaningful if they did that?
It would be nicer to get a more representative summary of the year like event.
I guess the nominations are that, right?
I suppose, but
to be nominated is an honor in and of itself, I suppose. Yeah,
I guess it just feels like there's a lot more negative feeling if one game snaps up too many awards, even like especially ones they questionably deserve. Although the weird thing is that the one thing I thought Astro Bot absolutely did deserve was best audio design, and it didn't win that one.
Yeah,
I thought the sound design and music in that game was like spot on. It's like one of the things I particularly noted as really good.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking Hellblade 2? Best audio?
That feels like one of those things where like, like Leo should have won an Oscar years ago, so let's give it to him now. Like Hellblade 1, absolutely. Like the audio design informed stuff in that game in ways that I had not experienced prior.
Well, I seem to remember like the start of Hellblade 2, it says, hey, consider wearing headphones. And then I said, I'm absolutely not going to do that because I don't want to hear those British ladies whispering in my ears the whole fucking time.
But like that was a feature in the first game that mattered a lot more in that game than it does in the second one.
I suppose.
Those were all holdovers to the audio design stuff that they did in the first game. But this one kind of acts as if it's still as important, and it's just not. So that's what that feels like, is people remember what audio existed in that franchise rather than in this particular release. So they're giving it the award now.
All right.
That's my guess.
I don't know, like there's this idea of like nobody got mad when Lord of the Rings scooped up like 12 Oscars because it felt deserved, right? In like Return of the King won so many, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even regardless of what it was fighting against, but here, like even though I'm not mad that Astro Bot won, I think it's a very weird year where I'm not terribly mad about it because I can't say it stole it from any other game because I'm not upset, but apparently some people are. Apparently a lot of Chinese players are very upset that Black Myth Wukong didn't win.
Well, that's just China, isn't it? They just
get mad about Black Myth Wukong.
I mean, it's a game that specifically represents them
their
culture. Country. So
yeah.
It checks
also,
out.
The Chinese have a lot of people just not much else to do all day except spam the internet. with stuff.
Review bombing Baldur's Gate.
And I did think Wukong would win. I think if there hadn't been all the controversy around it, probably would have had a better chance.
Mm. It's a shame. But yeah, it's been a weird year for games, you know.
I think my feeling was that it being Chinese developed, it sort of had instant diversity points. But I suppose, maybe China doesn't benefit from that because China's such a huge bunch of bastards.
What? I don't know if you can say that, but
it's a pretty oppressive nation. Is my point.
Well, sure, their government has been known to be pretty.
They're not like nice foreign like Japan. Like,
move it. I'm gonna take this conversation in a different direction.
Like, I'm not saying this is my view. I'm just saying this is like the view of the Western media general.
Sure, yeah, like the overarching sentiment is that we're not friends with China, but Japan's cool. Like I get what you're saying there. But with all that being said, whenever we do have games like Black Myth Wukong because this game had a really, really good showing when it was first announced, no one was sort of up in arms that it was Chinese made. They just wanted the cool game that they saw, right?
Yeah.
And it is a pretty cool game. That's pretty impressive.
I didn't like it, but I'm glad.
But also, Astro Bot is just a cool game that is kind of impressive with some of the things it's doing. There hasn't been a game until this month, in my opinion, that has really impressed me. Or I'm the design of this, the feel, the way this has been put together is, a step up. There hasn't been anything like that this year. In the last few years, I can see why certain games won. I think Astro Bot won because there wasn't anyone else who deserved it. And Astro Bot is the fan favorite nostalgia game, so they were just giving it to them. Not to take anything away from their win, right?
You know what I did like about Wukong? It had personality. I don't think Astro Bot's certainly got, a visual appeal, but I don't think it's got
all the personalities.
It's got personality, but it doesn't have character, let's say. I mean, in Wukong, I felt it was very strong on characterization of all the dudes you hung out with and all the unique personalities of all the different characters in the game.
It's got so much to show, right, Astro Bot, that it doesn't have the time to actually show you any character. You're just going to get one recycled animation of the Bloodborne guy raising an eyebrow and then swinging a switchblade, right? That's all you're going to get. And then they have to move on to the hundreds of other characters that you can't tell who they are because they don't name them. Still salty.
Well, that's just like the unlockables. The actual narrative is just, hey, you are a robot who has to rescue his friends from the big nasty alien, and there's not a whole lot of personality driving that.
No, not at all.
What was the narrative in Wukong though? Aren't you just, I'm not Wukong, but I'm trying to find him? Go.
Well, it wasn't so much the plot as the characters. The story aspect of a game has many components.
Sure.
There is the plot, the actual moment-to-moment events, and there is the characters, the way they present their personalities, and that's what I thought Wukong was strong on.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't play enough of it, but no character really stuck out to me in that way. Some of the bosses were cool designs, in their look, but their behavior, the dialogue back and forth between any two characters, none of that really made much of a difference to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to each their own.
It's a tough year. I don't begrudge it.
It wasn't that great a year for big AAA names releases.
It's a great indie year. It's an amazing indie year.
Yeah.
Great indie year, but it wasn't like last year. 2023 was big on AAA releases. Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, all of that. But this one, when it comes down to Astro Bot and Wukong, that shows you how thin the things were on the ground, I suppose.
Yeah. Shame. What else have we got?
The super chats are just popping off. I think we should get started on those as fast as possible.
Otherwise, this podcast will never end.
Yeah. Let's just go into those. They've got lots of opinions to raise. Admiral Ron gives $5 and says, disappointed Metaphor lost best OST. not every day you get battle music that sounds like Pavarotti being tased in the nads. That's the only song people remember from that game, though.
Yeah, it is the one song. So I think it is fair if, Final Fantasy had like an entire overarching score that people like loved and appreciated, that it would take the win.
Final Fantasy kind of always wins like best score, because like Final Fantasy 16 won best score as well. I mean, it's like it certainly doesn't deserve any other prize. Yeah, well, I guess they've gotten some practice in.
I just don't think it should have won that because it's a remake. We've had this music before. That music's won awards before, and now they've redone it and it's won another award.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 was
nominated. Yeah,
Silent Hill 2 was nominated for best score as well, and the songs in that are pretty much the same as they were.
Nostalgia. It's nostalgia driven. Oh, this music makes my balls tingle. Give it a vote. No, I want to hear new shit.
I mean, if you do like a remix or a cover, that can get nominated and win a Grammy as well, right? Like they don't usually penalize that.
Agreed. A remix or a cover can, but they're just recreating the music, right?
Yeah.
Like unless I don't.
Yeah, the remix or a cover. A remix or a cover is transformative, right? It's like fair use.
Dr. Zaius says that it's not the same music at all, apparently.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's rearranged. Okay, so yeah, I feel like that lends itself to being considered transformative, right?
It's rearranged. Okay. Hey, I haven't played it.
Yeah. Faz gives £4.99 and says, watched the vid on Saturday afternoon and it made for a decent time, but I do wish it'd be more awards show than E3. The Helldivers reveal was fun, though. Yeah, well, you gotta have your fucking announcements. That's half of where the money comes from these days, I suppose.
Yeah, like that's still probably the biggest complaint about the awards. Like they've credit to Jeff, like all the stuff that he keeps getting like roasted on every single year, he'll come back the next year and try to do something about it. And this was probably the closest year to him kind of hitting everything perfectly. For example, that Game Changer award about them not saying anything about the industry. That was them saying a lot about the industry and specifically the layoff situation.
Mm.
And like showing like kind of a bright side, not a bright side, but like, someone trying to do good.
Actually talking about the negative side.
And then having Sven, who won last year for Baldur's Gate 3, come out and basically just rip AAA corporations a new one in his speech before giving the next game of the year, saying like, hey, this is how you win this award, is you don't let any of that corporate BS interfere with the creators who are trying to do their job. Like that all felt like a Game Awards that is aware of the state of the industry, but despite that, still wants to recognize the games that are still here.
Yeah.
Any
irony in that, but
any game announcements you thought particular highlights? Are you really excited for Sonic Racing
Okami 2.
Worlds?
Yeah, Okami 2 looked amazing. Like I've not even played Okami, but I was super excited.
Okami's my second favorite game of all time. I love Okami. I messaged Marty immediately after that reveal, like, oh my god, we're the dog boys. Like I'm so excited.
Yeah, I replayed it once and was like, man, this game takes way too fucking long to get going.
Oh yeah. Well, it also takes a very long time to end. When you think Okami's done, another game starts, and when you finish that, another game starts. It's wild.
It just keeps fucking going. It's back when games used to have like satisfying lengths.
Yeah.
Faz gives $1.99 and says, also happy holidays all. Hope you enjoy your break. Well, we say break, but we've got a fully RAM this week. There won't be a fully RAM next week, but there will be a semi-RAM, and then there'll be fully RAM the week after. So there'll still be content all through the break, just not as much.
Design Delve tomorrow, potentially, and then another one next week. So the content's still coming.
Yeah. So you can all come and watch it while you're all fat and filled with Christmas goose or whatever you're having this year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, eat more goose. You gotta thin that herd.
Fucking geese. Where do they get off?
That broke my brain. Fucked me up. You gave me psychic damage.
I got a grudge against geese because there's a local park I go to sometimes take the kids to, and there's like this flock of Canadian geese that hang around the pond. And like the area around the pond is always just thick with goose plops.
Yeah, like they're the worst.
One time, my youngest was just sort of running around the grass. Then she looked down something in the ground, picked it up, brought it up to her mouth, and at that point I was sprinting.
Oh, that's nightmare
Put it
fuel.
down.
Yes, there was a quick trip to the water fountain after that, I tell you that.
Mhm.
Yeah, put them on your cookbooks, guys. Get rid of them.
Yeah, geese. They'd kill you if given the chance.
They would.
Mr. Daxter gives 1999 and says, "Oh boy, can't wait for Elden Ring to be nominated again next year. Presumably when Elden Ring Nightreign comes out, whatever the fuck that is."
Yay.
Yeah, did that completely like sour you on playing it, Yahtzee, to hear that it was kind of a rogue-likey co-op thing?
Actually, I didn't watch Game Awards at all, so this is like the first time reading up on it.
Oh, so you didn't even know what it was?
It's a co-op procedurally generated Elden
Roguelike.
Ring game.
Yes.
Yeah. And you don't make characters, you pick one of 8.
Well, that
And they will have
sounds-
abilities and ultimates and yeah.
No, thank you.
In a procedurally
No.
generated like alternate reality Limgrave
No
that changes each round.
No roguelike hero shooter Dark Souls for me, thank you very much.
Like
It's very strange.
I thought the trailer was really fun for this. Like I like the idea of running around a Elden Ring universe with a friend or friends. Like that's not, like terrible to me. But it definitely does seem antithetical to what Elden Ring is.
But I mean, I've always liked the co-op aspect of Souls-likes, but that's because you only call people when you need them, they do their job, and then they fuck off. And you don't have to interact with them any longer. That's the part I like. It's all the benefits of co-op without the downsides.
There are two things for me. One is I was hoping this would give FromSoft an opportunity to fix their god-awful co-op system, but no, they're still using the password system to play with your friends. Trash. I thought they could do like a seamless co-op thing. Apparently, that's not the case. And also, I'm willing to give FromSoft the benefit of the doubt, but something that Marty said when we were in Baltimore was every amazing company always hits their plateau and then falls. And this might be it for FromSoft. This might be not to say that this is all downhill from here, but like this might be the thing where it's just okay. Right,
Yeah.
but I'm willing to see what it is when it comes out because I think there are some interesting things you could do with this. I think the systems do lend themselves to this kind of repeatable content, but we'll just see when it comes out.
You're always going to rub up against the specter of climbing expectations at some point.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this feels the most like chasing a trend than doing what the creatives and stuff want to do. Like this is like take Elden Ring and make it into this other thing over here.
This is padding. This is by definition padding because it's reusing bosses from Dark Souls 2, 3, Elden Ring, and potentially 1. They're all been dragged in, and I'm all for reusing assets and animations, these beautiful things. I'm all for it. But this is just padding so they can make whatever they're doing next. They need more time to cook, and this is just allowing them to do it.
Sounds a bit pandering as well.
A little bit.
To bring in like all bosses from previous games, it's like Dark Souls Smash Brothers or something.
Well, the Nameless King is in the trailer. Like they're fighting the Nameless King in just the opening world of Limgrave. It's that's crazy.
One of like my favorite Dark Souls memories is fighting the Nameless King because I did that with a friend. So it's like, okay, we get to do that again. Like I'm kind of not mad at that.
But the thing is the build up to the Nameless King's arena, and like the transition into the second phase is, for me, what the Nameless King is and why that's so important. If I'm just fighting him randomly in a field, I don't think it has that same kind of zhuzh,
No, quite.
But except it happened already, so it does because it takes you back. So that's how this works.
Well, I never bothered to fight the Nameless King, so that won't work with me.
Oh well, yeah, I guess not.
Moving on, Dr. Theo gives $5 and says, "Always funny to see people on Twitter overreact about the winners of the games. It'll always happen, no matter what game wins."
Yeah.
Yes.
People get mad.
People have different opinions.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, hey, Wukong won the Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick Awards. Can't it be happy with that?
No, they won't.
Nope.
Jeff or bust.
Fox D gives $5 and says, we need the Game Razzies to go with the Game Awards. Eve Guimo wins LOL Cow of the Year. Hey, I'm doing my best with my worst game lists. Also, I don't think Eve Guimo counts as a LOL Cow. Those are people who just like continuously set their lives on fire and everyone just points and laughs, as I understand it. Casey, do you have an opinion?
I am contractually barred from having an opinion on this.
Wait, you're not allowed to have personally have an opinion on Eve Guimo?
On the man himself? Probably not. I'm just gonna play it safe and say no.
Yeah, play it safe.
This is the world we live in. This is Elon Musk's America, everyone.
No, he's not even American.
And yet
he's deported, right?
Oh yeah, he'll be first on the list.
Can you imagine like the mass deportation start and Elon's like, wait.
He's legit at the front of the line.
Yeah. Dr. Theo gives $5 and says, this is going to be a weird pick, but my game of the year is I Wanna Hug That Gator. It's funny, good disabled representation, and it's something me and my boyfriend bond over. I don't think I know that game.
I'm looking it up right now.
I Wanna Hug That Gator. Well, it's a mobile game. I Wanna Hug That Gator. Oh, it's some kind of fetish porn. Oh, no, it isn't. It's just wholesome porn.
Oh, a narrative. Okay, it looks like a narrative thingy.
Yeah. It's a narrative romance thing, possibly a visual novel.
Wanny hug that gator, not wanna. Yeah. Like, I want to.
Well, I Wanna Hug That Gator is apparently a different thing.
Is it wanny or is it wanna? Because this looks like fetish shit. Wholesome fetish shit.
Yeah, it's wholesome. It's the wonderful subgenre of wholesome fetish shit. Where you romance an alligator lady. Or man, I can't tell.
You know what?
Wearing a baggy hoodie.
Yeah, a security hoodie. Yes, all the
Wait,
Wani
is Japanese. Wani is Japanese for gator, so it's I gator hug that gator.
That makes just about as much sense as anything else.
Well, I'm glad you bond over it.
Okay,
it ain't for me. I'm gonna go play Astro Bot again.
Doran Gross Nipples gives $5 and apparently thought Marty would be here because they say, Marty, in 2016 you said Sonic fans all want to censored with Big the Cat. Now you're identified as Second Wind's resident Sonic fan. Should we be concerned?
Yes.
I'll tell you who the resident Sonic fan. It's Eric.
Yeah, Eric is a huge Sonic fan.
Yeah, it makes Marty look like he's dabbling. Yeah. Like
although
he's looked at the box art.
Though apparently Omar has a specialized fondness for that one song from Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, the final song at Omar's wedding was the truck chase song from Sonic Adventure 2.
I think that may have been a joke. I think maybe he was using it as everyone fuck off now music.
I see.
Okay.
Because it was the last song.
Well, it made all the women leave, so it worked.
Yeah. It worked. Tell me girls don't love Sonic?
Never.
Apparently not. I mean, they've tried so hard by having exactly one female main character who's pink and wants to marry Sonic and is obsessed with marrying Sonic.
I love representation.
Yeah, Fungus Finder gives $2 and says, I got an appointment at 1, so chop on the super chats. Yes, sir, Fungus Finder. And then Just Existing 45, member for 11 months in tip jar. Thank you very much. And the Dogmatic Director, member for 3 months in The Green Gang, says, Statler and Waldorf needed harsher insults, 1 out of 10. Sorry, is this referencing something? I didn't see the actual ceremony.
Oh, yeah, the Muppets make a return, but this time instead of Gonzo, you got the two kind of grumpy commenters, Statler and Waldorf.
Oh.
And they were essentially playing the role of Twitter comments the entire time.
Well, that reference probably went over a lot of kids' heads.
Maybe. I don't know. Muppets are kind of universal. And I don't know how many kids sit and actually watch the Game Awards. Like the Game Awards are for us.
This ain't for kids. This is for like middle-aged men masturbating over Astro Bot.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I seem to
us.
remember. I seem to remember
Yeah.
The Simpsons were giving the Muppets shit for being old-fashioned like 15 years ago.
How the turns of tables.
Neras25 gives 25 runs and says, "Do you all think Astro Bot's win stroke overall success will shake the gaming scene? I hope for more genre variety, but also take more 3D platformers." I don't know, because as I said, Astro Bot represents a sort of old school mascot platformer attitude, which I think the video games largely moved away from because it's really hard to pull off well in 3D space.
Mm.
So I don't think there'll be too many imitators of Astro Bot. I think everything's going to. I think if you want to know what's
at least.
No, if you want to know what's going to be imitated a lot, I think there's going to be continuing to be lots of Balatro clones in the indie space.
Yeah, because that made a lot of money.
Yeah. And you have to digest what went well about it. Like, did it do well? A lot of people are saying it's because it's a return to the platforming, days of old. Or is that because you like seeing Crash Bandicoot? As a tiny man, right?
And it doesn't.
I love platformers.
Yeah, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to try to cheaply cash in by copy pasting the formula of something that's really hard and expensive to make.
Yeah,
that's not how cheaply That's not how cheaply cashing in works.
You'd have to put a lot of time and love into it to make it feel as Astro Bot did, because it did have great game feel. But it'll be difficult to recreate that in a cash grabby way.
Fox D gives $5 and says, "Smash that nostalgia button is how Forrest Gump beat out Pulp Fiction and The Shawshank Redemption for Best Picture of '94. Astro Bot is Forrest Gump." Well, in retrospect, The Shawshank Redemption absolutely should have won that.
What's nostalgic about Forrest Gump?
What's not nostalgic about Forrest Gump, dude?
Yeah, his life goes through several important points in American history. Like he's
in modern American history, yeah.
Yeah, he is adjacent to a bunch of pivotal points.
I guess history. I'm just too British because I don't give a shit about that stuff.
and the soundtrack is rife with classic music from the era.
All I remember from that movie is Shrimp. I do like that movie. It's a bit. Movie. I do really like. I love that movie. It's a really good movie.
It's a good movie. But it's not The Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption's really good. Pulp Fiction's really good.
I also really like Shawshank Redemption. I'm torn. To me that could have gone either way. I don't think Shawshank was robbed. I think
you nostalgia-ridden husk.
I was even born when they were nostalgia all over that
shit. Well, anyway, Just Existing 45 gives $2 Canadian and says, chanting, "Astro Bot, Astro Bot, Astro Bot, t-t-t-t."
Oh, yeah.
If you like. I mean, if you like it, let's not yuck your yum. I ain't going to yuck anyone's yum on Astro Bot.
I like it. I
want to play it now.
It's good. It's just, I just don't think it's Game of the Year, but no other game that came out this year was.
I mean, if you want a summary of our position on Astro Bot, it's generally been, we like it, and then the very obvious but upcoming. Alex Armstrong gives $5 and says, "Been playing Infamous 2, great game. And something occurred to me. If Cole McGrath can't touch water or he dies, can he not shower? Does he stink 24/7? You know what? He looks like he does." I mean, especially in Infamous 1, I definitely get the sense that Cole McGrath would really, really smell close up.
Does the sweat just evrapate off him?
Yeah, maybe he can just electrocute the moisture or the dirt rather off his body.
That's so cool.
Well, it'd smell of when you run your toaster a bit too close to the paper towels, and you sort of smell it starting to burn.
Ooh.
I think that's what he would smell like electrical fires.
Or better yet,
man,
he just electrocutes your nostrils, and then you can't smell him anymore.
Oh my god!
I guess that's what he's done. I guess he's done that to everyone who hangs around him a lot.
You electrify the nose hair in my nose. Can he trim the nose hair out my nose with his powers? Man, those games, we talk about this I think every Windbreaker. Where's our fucking remaster of Infamous?
I mean, if Sony want to offload some stuff onto Steam for free money, Infamous 2 would definitely be at the top of my list.
Agreed.
Next to Bloodborne.
I once called Cole. His name is Cole McGrath, right?
Yeah.
I once called Cole McGrath the most generic protagonist in video game history. I wrote that into an article that Nick forced me to take out. He was like, "No, don't say that. That's too mean."
No, that's fair enough. He is man.
Right.
He is
His job
grizzled.
was bike messenger. Do you remember that?
with weirdly grizzled Batman voice.
Like if Jason Statham's job was bike messenger, like who would believe that?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a bike messenger who takes their job way too fucking seriously. And chain smokes. Fungus Finding is $2. It says Chestburster Pup never gets old. He likes that spot. He gets to snooze and be warm and keep an eye on the surroundings in case that one asshole dog from next door shows up.
And he's missed you because you've been away.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like when I came in last night and found him sleeping on the couch, he almost got up. That's how much he missed. He liked seeing me. He was mostly under a blanket and snoozing on the couch, and he almost got up.
Wow, the love.
You can tell.
And his little tail was going like the clappers, whapping against the couch cushions like a little drum kit.
What a little sweetie.
Chat, like I had to reload the chat again because of the memory issues. Where was I?
Are you streaming from a toaster?
I ain't streaming.
Are you reading chat from a toaster?
No, just for some reason it started a few weeks ago actually. Like every now and again, like YouTube chat just crashes and says, "Whoops, ran out of memory. Better reload the page."
Yeah, that's been
I've
happening
never
to me
encountered
too.
that.
Yeah, like months ago that started just randomly.
Chrome has a memory leak issue apparently, according to Eric. That makes sense. That checks out.
Oh, I'm this close to going back to Firefox. I tell you that.
I'm too integrated. I'm stuck.
Sovereign gives €5. Says I wanted Shadow of the Erdtree to win just because it would piss everyone off. Well, enough people are pissed off.
Well, yeah, clearly anything winning has pissed people off. So you got what you wanted.
There you go, you little chaos goblin, you. Dread Pirate Mittens gives $5. Says I'm using my first ever super chat to say that little fart at the end of the Windbreaker's intro never fails to make me laugh. A windbreaker is a kind of jacket. We keep saying that.
And it makes that fart sound sometimes when you like move too fast.
Yeah. That's what the sound is, yeah. It's a windbreaker. Suddenly someone wearing a windbreaker and then suddenly going, aha, because they got a very
We need to
significant
have
race.
a windbreaker for merch.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. Get on the line with the merch guys. Stat.
That is actually
I'm typing that in ideas right now.
No, yeah, please do. That's a really good idea. Like the pattern that Java created, that's dope. It's fire. Print it.
That on the back, like embroidered in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And make it like canary yellow. It'd be like
yeah.
It would be pretty much exactly like the yellow jackets we got that were like Cyberpunk branded E3 2019.
Oh yeah, that's a good reference for how it should end up looking. Yeah.
Yeah, they were reversible jackets, actually. They were like black on one side and that very shade of yellow on the other.
Yeah, Cyberpunk was like real yellow for a long time. Like after they did their big game fix, they changed it to like red, but it used to be yellow.
Yeah. So Namiducha gives $20 and says nothing, as is his wont.
Thank you.
And then Danny123451 gives £5 and says, do you guys plan to stream the BAFTA Game Awards? I checked them out for 2023 and they were a hell of a lot more professional than the Game Awards. Are we doing the DICE Awards? We've historically done the DICE Awards, haven't we?
Yeah, like folks were asking about this last year, if I recall. And I do think we did either DICE or BAFTA. I don't think I was there personally, but I do think there was a stream for it.
I think I was. You weren't available, and I did the DICE Awards, I think.
Well, DICE isn't until February, and BAFTA isn't until April, so we've got plenty of time to decide.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, if you guys want it, keep letting us know, and we'll do it.
Yeah.
Just existing 45 with $2 Canadian. It says, how is the PS5 at the end of its cycle? Odd one, J. Surely the PS5 is not at the end of its cycle. Still hasn't got any bloody games.
I'd never play mine for what it's worth, so I
No,
don't know.
neither do I.
I think they're going to be transitioning. I think they're going to be pushing into new markets because they're not fucking making games for it.
Well, why? Why not just keep doing the PS5 and until... Or why don't you just like make gaming PCs like Xbox do and just forget about this whole stupid business?
Well, because this is the interesting part, right? Because it was a big, I don't want to say console war, because I don't think there's been a console war for years and years and years and years. Like Nintendo doing their own thing, Xbox has moved on into different ventures and are seeing more returns from pushing into the PC market. And I think PlayStation is just like, we're over here, and because they don't have any like huge system selling games coming out regularly. I'm interested to see what they're doing next, and I think they're going to be pushing into. I think there are rumors of them pushing into the portable market more.
Yeah, we know
even more than the Portal.
We have heard that yes, Sony and Microsoft are planning dedicated handhelds in like the next couple of years. So like maybe that's the new frontier.
Let's get Steam Decks. Don't chase the Nintendo trend.
This is the problem, right? I think PC gaming is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it might just overtake.
Well, we've always said that. But the fact is, the consoles are still the most accessible option for
the general audience, for sure.
Pods. Yeah. Anyway, there's a prestige to getting a console that getting a gaming PC does not have. It's like,
I guess it depends. Building a PC, there's a nice prestige.
And you're not putting that in your living room.
Yeah, but the kids at school say, "My dad got me a PS5 for Christmas," and that wins all arguments.
Do you know what? No, I will agree with you. I felt a level of prestige when I got my PS5, but I then didn't use it because it's a fucking paperweight. Because they don't make games for it.
Yeah, there it is, sitting there under my TV, just with that stupid sandwich-like design that looks to me like someone with their mouth hanging open in a sort of stupid, gormless way.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Lampy's like, oh, there's 62 million PS5 sold. That's twice as much as Xbox. Yeah, I'm not saying PlayStation are failing. I'm just interested in seeing where they're going to be pushing forward, right? Because I think
that's the thing. It's not that they failed, right?
Yeah,
it's that they won.
They didn't. They won.
Like, they won.
Yes.
Like now they're at the finish line. Everyone else is like, damn, I can't do anything about how much they have beaten me by. I'm gonna do something else. And Sony's now looking around like, shit. What do we do?
But what have they done with that win? Right? They haven't done anything.
They won, and Alexander wept for there were no more worlds to conquer. That's where they are. Anyway, Yahtzee wore a yellow cushion last week. Gives €2. Yeah, hindsight works a lot better, doesn't it? And says, Merry Christmas.
Is that the green hat account?
That's the green hat account. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance, they say. Well, you sure you want to be prophesizing stuff? How do you know I'm going to have a Merry Christmas? I might have a really miserable one. Sosiguro 2000, member for 13 months in the Green Gang, says, Yahtzee's social credit score -1 million. That's when I said China is a bunch of full of bastards. All right, it's got a bastard government. All right, clarifying things. The government of China is full of bastards.
Sure.
And then Fox Deeg is $5. Says, I want to see China do more with its more obscure national folklore. Give me a game about something their school kids know but we've never heard of.
I could be down for that. From more culture, period, right? Like, just teach me, my ignorant American ass, about the rest of the world. Like, I love that.
Yeah, teach me about nostalgia of American culture, like shrimp and.
You want a Forrest Gump game?
Stuff?
Is that what you're saying?
You need to play Mafia 3. That's the Forrest Gump game.
I haven't played it, so maybe I'll pick that up. I agree with culture. I want more culture, but do you know who hates culture? Shareholders, because that shit doesn't sell. And I'm all for art and culture, and I want that. But the fucking horrible money men, they want generic they want Cole from Infamous to run around New York, right? That's what people recognize.
Yeah.
Witticism gives $5. It says, not much to add besides I'm happy Helldivers 2 won its categories. 9 Souls still my game of the year as well. Nice to have you on, KC.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, for me, like the
feel exactly
toss-up...
the same.
The toss-up for me is between 9 Souls and Another Crab's Treasure, and I think Another Crab's might inch it out for me. Because it's got I prefer like the stronger and the lighter-hearted tone.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
And it's got stronger storytelling for me. It's not quite so willfully obtuse.
I really need to play that game. I think.
Are you
really
referring to 9 Souls as being willfully obtuse?
A little bit, yeah.
I thought their story was actually pretty straightforward. There's definitely more context you can get.
Yeah, I understood it by the end, but there was a lot, there were a lot of holes. But I absolutely understood everything that happened in Another Crab's Treasure, and I appreciated that. It was refreshing.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, the main narrative was pretty simple, but then like the allegory for conservationism and protecting the environment, this comes through really well too.
And some of the moments, like where you're at the bottom of the sea and there's just like these horrifying spider crabs with glowing eyes that shoot lasers at you from a million miles away. That was like a really cool, like sort of spooky moment.
Man, I haven't played. Let me add that to my fucking wish list because this game's. I haven't touched it, but it's so far on my street.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Like it was a lot of fun.
You know what? I liked it because it was a Souls-like that didn't feel it was trying to outdo every other Souls-like for difficulty. It was the difficulty was nice and manageable and didn't feel like it was smashing me over the head.
Yeah,
and it offered accessibility options if you wanted to skip all that nonsense as well.
Yeah, you could just equip a gun. And
I mean, the gun was like the final solution for that sort of stuff, but it did have other means as well. Like you can like have unbreakable shells too. Like you could have like no degradation to like your stuff if you want it.
Yeah,
accessibility.
Yeah, it's fun. It was fun. Maybe I'm like giving away another part of my top 5 there, but yeah.
Oh shit!
Still haven't figured out how to rank them yet.
Anyway. You didn't try Bow Path of the Teal Lotus though.
No, I did not try that. That looked like it was just 9 Souls again, if I'm honest.
Yeah, like right. It definitely looks like that, and I fully understand why you'd write it off as that. But after playing it, it is its own thing. Like it's like I prefer 9 Souls because of its focus on combat, but Bow is basically if 9 Souls was made and focused on platforming.
It looks like it does. Nearly exactly looks like it.
It does. It's rough because they came out so close together and they look so similar.
Oh, that's a shame.
But Bow really is a good ass game. Like I even can't give it the credit it deserves because I liked 9 Souls just slightly more.
Yeah,
so
it's a shame.
More combat, platforming focus, like Ori or something like that.
Right?
Real fucking Blu-ray versus HD DVD situation there. One of them was going to take all the headlines, and the other one was going to be forgotten as an imitator of the other. Like Pizza Tower and Anton Blast as well. Yeah, I mean, I presume since it came out so close to 9 Souls, the two of them must have been being developed at the same time.
Yeah, they would have had to been. Yeah,
it's an Armageddon Deep Impact situation. It's a shame when that happens.
Yeah.
I believe in Doodoo Man gives $2. It says hot take: a 15-minute track deserved a music award. Okay, if you say so.
What track?
Maybe they're talking about that metaphor combat track with the dude singing in Esperanto.
Yeah, is that track
maybe
actually 15 minutes long?
Well, combat can go on as long as you want, I suppose.
Yeah, but most combat tracks are infinitely long.
Yeah, I just thought it was looping. Is it actually 15 minutes long? That's crazy.
You'd think the singer would run out of energy.
I'd love it if you spent 15 minutes in combat and the song just ended and just didn't loop and you just had to do the rest of the combat in silence.
Just awkwardly, like
coughing.
Try not to make eye contact. Yeah. Okay, I'll just hit you again then. Bam. Ellie Berry gives $4.99 and says it's funny most people's complaints about the Games Awards are not present with the DICE Awards, but no one cares because no trailers to market at you. Hey, we'll cover the DICE Awards and we'll even get mad at them if that's what you want. You know, we live to serve.
it's almost like the people who get mad at these sort of things don't watch them.
Quite. Yeah. They just hear what won the Game Awards, and that's the only thing they hear about because it's the only like really prestige award ceremony.
Yep.
And they just decide they have very important opinions on that. Just Existing 45 gives $5 Says Astro Bot genuinely brought me joy. I've not felt that since childhood when gaming. Therefore, I will bang the drum for Astro Bot all day, every day. Well, guess what? Just Existing 45. Astro Bot doesn't need you to do that because it's got every fucking other media outlet also banging the drum for it all day, every day. You would get lost in the chorus there.
That's a secret.
I'm sorry to hear you haven't felt joy since you were a child. That makes me sad.
I didn't feel joy when I was a child. It was overrated.
Joy is overrated?
I had shit to get on with.
You should try it, Yachts. Being happy is pretty sick.
The last time I really felt what I would call joy was when I was in the middle of an LSD trip. So that's what it takes these days.
Astro Bot doesn't win my game of the year because it didn't make me feel like I was having an LSD trip.
Probably a fun game to play while on an LSD trip.
Give it a shot. Let's hear a review.
Yeah. I mean, you probably wouldn't the trip probably wouldn't go bad if you were playing Astro Bot.
I don't know.
Hammer Anarchy gives 69 Norwegian krona. Says, well, my game of the year was Animal Well, which I understand didn't stand a chance, but I wish at least one best indie. Oh, well. Oh, Animal Well, indeed.
Balatro deserved it. I just think Animal Well also deserved debut.
Balatro was like a very rare happenstance where someone just comes up with a great idea that no one had thought of before, and were all kicking themselves that they hadn't thought of after it did so well.
It deserved it, for sure.
Alex Armstrong gives $2. Says more interested in Sonic 3 movie than the Game Awards. Sorry. Shrug emoji.
Are those in competition with each other?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Sonic 3 doesn't go. I don't know why I remember this because I do not care about Sonic 3, but it comes out on December 20th, I believe.
Yeah, it's not even out yet.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to have to take my son, so I do care about it. But only because I'm going to be forced to watch it.
Is he a big Sonic boy?
He's more of a video game boy in general.
Right.
So like a video game movie comes out, he's like, I think I got to see that. So like we watched Moana 2 recently, and we saw the Minecraft trailer. I think he saw it for the first time in that trailer and was like, yeah, I guess I got to see that. Like he did not sound, right? Yeah, he did not sound excited though. Like, oh, that looks also cool. Like, he just went like, I guess I got to see that.
The Sonic movies are meant to be good though, right?
Yeah, people like them. I like the first one at least.
Well, the returns have got to diminish sometime, and the third movie usually is that point. Spider-Man 3 springs to mind.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 was very
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, I should clarify. Yeah. Hjorth87 gives 20 Danish kroner and says, looks up from Rogue Trader. Huh? Game Awards. Go back to sleep, Hjorth87. Onyxia, member for 13 months in the Green Gang, says, thanks for 13 months of content. Happy holidays. Well, thanks for sticking with us since the beginning, Onyxia.
Here's to 13 more. And that's all you're getting.
Yeah. Then everyone crashes and burns and falls out. And then we all like feature in lots of video essays where we slag each other off.
Yep.
Vulgar Display of Gaming gives $10 and says, I think people forget that the Wukong devs just outright lied to the public. Before its launch, they said it was delayed on Xbox due to memory leak issues, then turned out it was an exclusivity deal.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I forget about that.
Yeah, dodgy devs let it down in the end, I think. And there was all that, wasn't there like sexual harassment or like sexual non-wokeness problem in the studio?
I don't remember hearing about that.
Didn't tell you. As soon as that game came out and someone internally said it was a boss rush, I just gave up. I was like, I'm not playing that.
I think I said that, didn't I? I think I said the game would definitely have been improved if it had just been a boss rush and they'd cut out all the...
There was something you said, and I was just like, I'm not touching this.
Like, Nick has since played through all of it, and he's pushing back on a lot of the early games, saying like it kind of becomes more later on. But like that's a lot of game to get through before that, if that's the case.
He even went back to Twitter just for a brief moment, just to say, "Hey, this game's good." Flick V signs, and then rush back to Blue Sky.
Mm-hmm. Ducks behind the blue sky shield.
What important work that man does.
I know. Where are we? Timothy Lothar gives $10 and says, "Probably already covered, but how do you feel about a DLC being in the Game Awards?" Man, welcome to 2 months ago, Mr. Slowpoke. Well, I guess it didn't matter in the end because it didn't win shit.
Yeah, and it kind of didn't matter to begin with because so much DLC is the size of some other entire games. It's like it's just a really relative.
Shadow of the
thing that
Erdtree
you
is huge.
Yeah, right. So, like, and the only real holdup is that you kind of can't touch it unless you play 40, 60 hours of the main game.
Yeah,
like
that's just because FromSoft are just needlessly obtuse with everything.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't be a From Software game without being needlessly obtuse about it.
But imagine if it wasn't. Wouldn't that be cool?
Imagine if it was a roguelike.
Crab's Treasure. Oh my god.
With co-op.
And you had to pay.
Imagine if From Software decided to make something like Lollipop Chainsaw. Imagine what would that be their take on Lollipop Chainsaw?
Yeah.
I kind of want to see that.
Dower Dodger Esquire, member for 13 months in the Green Gang, says FromSoft is supposed to be a paragon. Don't say it. Well, like we said, everyone's got a peak sometime, Dower Dodger Esquire. I mean, there was a time when I thought Ubisoft was one of the good ones in the AAA realms. Because, hey, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Prince of Persia Sands of Time, Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, I think those are good games.
Yes.
Buy our products, says Casey. No, I agree, but also, like, if you have big company that you like, seeing them stumble is not always a bad thing. That can reignite, passion's direction, push things in the right direction. If this thing comes out and it's fucking shit, that's good, because they'll never do something like that again. And they'll move on, right? So,
or they might go bust and get
FromSoft, they go bust. They made more money than there is in the world from Elden Ring.
Well, apparently you need more than that to succeed in today's AAA industry.
Fuck.
Anyway, Onyxia gives $5. It says, "I gotta say, December has been great for Xbox with Stalker and Indiana Jones, both perfect candidates for Game of the Year. But how about Path of Exile? Thoughts?" You need to ask Nick, because I haven't played that at all, but I know
it's early access. It shouldn't be a contender.
Yeah, well, quite. And probably that's why I haven't played it.
Is it supposed to launch for real next year?
I don't know. I did the stream with Nick, and bear in mind that this game is $30 in early access, and I put out a blue sky, a bloomp, whatever they're called. I said,
a bloomp.
How long before they offer to sell me a real money cosmetic? And it's on the fucking start screen. And I was like, okay, early access, $30 game, instantly trying to sell me skins. Get fucked. I love ARPGs, but that just feels a bit too much for me.
I think you only call it a bloop if the response is the equivalent of the largest life form ever detected by man.
Oh, well, the sound that was heard in the Pacific.
Yeah, that was the reference I was making there.
Yeah. I got that reference.
I did not.
Good. Well, the bloop is a term given to a signal that was detected by sonar, I think.
Because that's the sound sonar makes.
Yeah, that was scanning deep sea, ocean movements of things. And it was the kind of movement that could only have been made, according to some people, by the movements of an animal that's 20 times bigger than a blue whale.
Gargantuan. And it was heard, this sound was picked up simultaneously on the coast of California and Japan.
So it was there. It's not like a glitch in the system.
Yeah, and I think there's been more research done into it, proving that it may have been movements of tectonic plates or something, but the sound originally was said to... Yeah, it was said to only been made by organic.
Yes, it was a fun fantasy for a while, but I think most respectable scientists now agree, it was just a geological thing.
I like to think it's some giant squid man.
Yeah.
A squid man?
Yeah, on Cthulhu, mate.
It's fun to drink.
Yeah, old Cthulhu. He's a squid man.
Yeah.
With wings. Where'd the wings come from? Squids don't have wings. Or men. Anyway. Kite gives 2,500 CLPs and says this project came from a developer that's been working with them since DS1. This is his directorial debut. It's kind of like Majora's Mask.
I can see the Majora's Mask comparisons in terms of remixing all the assets. The Elden Ring thing I think he's referring to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am still looking forward to it. Like I know
too.
it's not what most people would have wanted from a FromSoft announcement, but I think it will be fun.
When they tried to do like a sort of co-op stroke PvP arena thing with the first Dark Souls DLC, didn't it? All that business with the
like the Colosseum, or the
the
gazebo
Colosseum.
of pain or some shit.
Oh, yeah, whatever it was. I don't remember that working out particularly well, but it was there.
Like Elden Ring also had its own like multiplayer focused DLC with like 2v2s and 3v3s and stuff.
Right. Anyway, Ellie Berry gives $4.99 and says the GDC awards are probably the most important awards, but again, no one cares because no trailers.
Yeah, people want to see games. They want to see what they can buy.
What if they came up with something else as a gimmick? Like, there's also an award for best costume. Whoever shows up to the DICE Awards in the most convincingly dressed like a video game box art wins an extra prize. And extra points if they're particularly horny.
No, you don't open that can of worms. The horny worms, don't let them out.
Hey.
It would get viewership up, though.
Don't oppress my horny worms.
I will put the lid on that horny worm can, and you cannot stop me because you're a worm.
No, release them from horny jail.
Shiba Inus are coming.
Ham Anarchy comes back with 69 Norwegian kroner. Says, for what it's worth, From Software at least being honest and upfront about Nightreign. Preemptive disappointment is better than a release flop. Well, it's not exactly energizing the audience, is it?
Well, I don't know. I can't say I've heard much from the general public. Like I've heard from like other critics and stuff, and they're all sort of like tepid on that sort of thing. But like, yeah, like these roguelike sort of things are all over the place because people play them. So
they're accessible.
Yeah.
And people like playing with their friends.
Is that the extent of your ambition? Just doing more of what we've already got?
Yeah, it's hard to hear that and see that from FromSoft because that's just not what they've done. So I get that sentiment.
I feel like From Software should be above that kind of thing. From Software should be just like, here's the thing we wanted to make this time, and you'll bloody well like it.
This is that. Like, I'm sure
the Sekiro mindset.
These teams like playing roguelikes, and they've seen an opportunity to buy some time so they can make whatever they're making next. And also make some money and give people a different experience and experiment a little bit.
Oh, I see.
I can dig it.
One for thee and one for me, hey? That's how it is.
Yeah, or one for money, because this will sell.
One for money and one for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite scan as well, does it?
No, not at all.
How about one for me and one for fee?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt. Put that on the inlay of the Windbreakers.
Of the Windbreaker.
Nick Mathewson gives $10 Canadian. It says, I just sliced the end of my thumb off, but damned if I'm going to miss the podcast. Not a huge fan of Astro Bot, but I'll be damned if it's not the last exclusive holdout in the console war. Well, I'm glad you thought that was important to say, Nick, but I'd get that thumb looked at if I were you.
Please seek medical help.
Attached.
Just sitting there with like blood just squirting out in a little arc.
Like your spacebar must look horrid.
Yeah, I mean, if you get there if you get there quickly, they'll sew it back on.
That happens to one of my best mates.
Yeah, that happened to my wife when she worked at the deli.
It happens. Tip of the thumbs. Always getting lopped off.
Watch that slicing machine. That's what it does. It slices things.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of a joke. Bloke goes to his psychotherapist and says, I got this biggest problem. I work at a deli, and every day I get this irreconcilable urge to stick my dick in the ham slicer. And the therapist says, well, don't do that. How about take some pills and come back if you're still feeling it? Comes back next week and says, I'm still getting this irreconcilable urge to stick my dick in the ham slicer. It just won't go away. And the psychotherapist says, okay, we'll up the dosage. But yeah, come back before you actually do it. But then the third week he comes back and says, I did it. I finally did it. I couldn't resist any longer. I stuck my dick in the ham slicer. And the therapist goes, what happened? And dude goes, I got fired. And she got fired too.
It's like a fucking anti-joke. I was thinking the entire time, like, what is the punchline of this? What is the joke? The joke is they both got fired because he chopped his dick off. What? Where am I right now? No, what is happening?
No,
Jake.
no. You haven't gotten the gist.
Wait, I didn't get the joke. What have I missed?
The ham slicer is a person, a woman.
Yes. Yes, that was her
my
job.
God.
She sliced the ham.
Yeah, she is the ham slicer.
I thought the therapist got fired because she couldn't give him the right dosage to stop him chopping his dick off. Okay, that's not a bad joke, actually.
Okay.
That's funny.
I mean, it's sort of a variant on the old, what do you do if the dishwasher breaks down? Give her a slap joke.
Oh, okay, that's mean.
Yeah.
we don't say that joke.
No, we don't say that joke anymore. That's a bit too mean-spirited in today's enlightened times.
That joke went
It's,
right
it's
over my
mean-spirited, like, in both directions. It's like you assume a dishwasher is a woman, and then you slap the woman? Like, come on.
How do you make a hormone? Don't pay her.
Oh,
No.
no.
Fucking hell.
We've gone down an awful rabbit hole.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Snake in the Garden gives €2 and says, Astro Bot devs credit to Nintendo for Game of the Year was cool.
Oh, yeah, that was
well.
slick. Like, in their acceptance speech, they basically said, like, yeah, this game would not have existed without the influences of, and then they started getting real vague about they were alluding to Nintendo and their innovations.
Well,
and,
of
like,
course.
they specifically said they couldn't say the name Nintendo.
Because it's just a Mario Galaxy ripoff, isn't it?
It kind of is.
Yeah, it almost definitely is. But at least they're upfront about it. Oh, I guess not because they didn't say it. But
well, I don't. They can't, right? Like, like their bosses would be like, "You just gave credit to Nintendo for the thing that we paid you to make."
I wish they would. I wish there would be more. I know it's because they're all businesses, but more like just collaborations and just respecting each other as an industry.
Just respect each other's peers. Understand we all work together on the great enterprise of progressing the industry.
Yeah,
and etc. Alex Armstrong is $5 and says, speaking of Sonic, I feel Superstars was Sega's attempt to make a Mania 2 without fan help, and they fucked up due to high price mixed OST and bad bosses. That was my feeling, yeah. Oh, there he goes. Where are you going?
He's off.
Superstar, the one where you could make your own character?
Just for the multiplayer mode, which sucked ass. But yeah, it was very overtly trying to be Sonic Mania, but wasn't as good. Just as
Sonic
the recent Shadow Generations was trying to be Bowser's Fury and wasn't as good.
I thought people liked
Sonic
that one.
in a nutshell.
Forever chasing the people give a lot of leeway to Shadow the Hedgehog for some reason because he defined their high school years.
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt anything super strong towards the Sonic franchise, but I do kind of like Shadow. I don't know why.
Well, you're not alone
edgy,
there.
Yeah. I don't think I am, but
do you enjoy listening to the Black Parade?
Yes.
As a good song.
I love My Chemical Romance.
But I can't judge. I can't judge. I like the Black Parade as well.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
I also like Teenagers. I also like Pumped Up Kicks because it's about shooting your schoolmates.
No, that's not why you should like that.
Okay.
You should like it because
it's got a funky beat. Song.
All the other kids.
Yeah, you can snap your fingers to this song about
Yeah, not snap necks.
faster than a bullet. I was reminded of that song this morning for reasons we should all know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, not that any of you should know, just people who work at Second Wind should know. And with that mysterious note, Fungus Finder gives $2 and says, "Okay, now describe what Alex Mercer smells like. Off meat, like if you open up the sliced ham, that you've had in the fridge for too long, and give it a smell. That's what it would smell like.
Cold death.
Cold, uneatable ham.
Like just rotted person.
Yeah,
and like the new leather jacket smell.
Yeah.
Like a bad tooth. You ever smell?
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah. Whoop Whoop gives $5 and says, "As great as Astro Bot is, people are acting like it's been ages since we got a big 3D platformer when Kirby and the Forgotten Land was only 2 years ago." Yeah, but that's Nintendo, and they've always been doing that.
We're also getting a bunch of indie platformers that are really good. Like shout out to Hat in Time. That is a great game.
That's that's so old now, though.
No, I'm just talking about platformers in general. There was also what's that one with the fucking horny bunny girl? Regalia or something.
Atlas? Yeah, Pseudo Regalia.
Pseudo Regalia.
One, yeah.
Bit horny for me, but
there's more than one horny bunny girl. Because I thought you were talking about Atlas, the new one.
I tend to stay away from horny bunny girl games. That's just me.
You know what?
Well, you're missing out.
I'll play them.
I know.
I mean, everyone of my generation from England had like an awkward phase when they had the hots for the Cadbury's Caramel Rabbit.
Although, what's the rabbit in Looney Tunes?
Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny. People love Lola Bunny.
Yeah, they got real mad when they redesigned her for the new Space Jam. It was like, yo, she's not sexy enough.
Yeah, they made her like less thick, which is like weird.
I get it though.
The Cadbury's Caramel Rabbit, though, was a very interesting historic case because it's one of the few cases of like a erotic sex symbol with a West Country accent.
Oh my god, she's a West Country accent.
What's the West Country accent?
Bit like that. So you sort of you're a little bit like a farmer. They sound like they're from the Shire.
Yeah, but she'd do it in sort of a breathy, sexy way. It's like the Cadbury's Caramel. Mm.
Oh my god.
So you're awakening something in Jay.
Hey, I like the accent. I'm from Devon. Like a lot of the women from our childhood spoke like that.
Oh my god, is that what that bunny looks like?
The Cadbury's Caramel Rabbit.
The picture that Eric just put up, is that it, or is that like a fan version?
I can't see. It's too small.
Oh no.
Hang on.
Because
don't make it bigger, Eric. We'll get demonetized. That thing is.
Yeah, that's the Cadbury's Caramel.
Okay, yo, it does not. Okay.
Look at the Eric showed that bitch.
Yeah, the picture Eric showed is not what it actually looks like. That was like disturbing.
Fucked up fan art.
Yeah, that's a classic 90s Cadbury's Caramel Rabbit ad. And just imagine her talking in a breathy, sexy West Country accent.
Sure, okay.
But now I kind of want a Cadbury's Caramel, man. She did her job.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Eric, stop. Just stop.
Anyway. Juicy Jeff gives $10, says, "Late entry for best game intro. Shout out to God of War 3. The tutorial ends with you gouging out Poseidon's eyes and yeeting him off Olympus. I was left slack-jawed with a chub the rest of the game." Well, that was always
the
God
entire
of War thing, wasn't it?
20 hours of the game. That's a fucking a long duration chub.
Oh yeah, that's definitely at the top of many lists. Is the intro to God of War 3.
Oh
yeah.
Man, I miss the spectacle of those games. Like knowing going into them that you're going to be like climbing a fucking colossus.
Yeah,
and, like,
I mean, God of War 4 has its charms, but it opens with you walking slowly across a garden, dumping a corpse on a pyre.
Yeah,
it's not original God of War formula.
Scale-wise, but I will say the opening when Boulder comes to talk to you, and then he's like, "Okay." And then he just fucking uppercuts you, and you just go through the building. It's just that entire fight is incredible.
Well,
it takes a while to get there.
I like it.
Well, now you mention it, Ragnarok does the exact same thing.
Because I recently watched the Thor bit. Yeah,
Odin and Thor show up for a nice, friendly, like sit down cup of coffee around the table, and then Thor just uppercuts you out of your house as well.
Yeah, with Mjolnir, and he like pins you to it while you're going up.
I just fixed that.
That's
roof.
also good. Or just stop getting uppercut. Like, get ready for it, Kratos.
Yeah.
Put your guard up, man. Come on.
Yeah. Maybe start wearing a scarf.
Then you're immune to uppercuts. That's how it works.
A metal scarf. Wear one of those bomb defusal collars. One of those bomb defusal collars that Fat Man wears in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah. That'll that protects the chin.
Those there's a tribe, I think I could be wrong. I don't want to be racist. In Africa that wear those metal collars to extend their necks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wear one of those, immune to uppercuts.
I feel like that might make you more susceptible to uppercuts.
More prone to uppercuts. You get a negative one.
Yeah. It makes your head go up on a big spring like in Looney Tunes.
Oh my god.
You're like a big rock and sock'em robot. Then your head's just flapping around like one of those things that stops doors from hitting the wall. Doing, doing, doing.
Those are so musical, though.
I know.
They are. If I see one, I have to give it a little kick.
I think I saw a YouTube video where someone did all the instrument tracks for Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now" just with the little thing on the door that, like, just flicking the door stop.
Amazing.
Anyway,
wow, we got there.
Fox D gives $5 and says, "Wishing everyone a blessed solstice and a happy new year."
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
Hang on, lost a place again. Bloody super chat jumping to the bottom. There we go. Happy basketball day, actually, was what he said. Happy holidays all.
Hell yeah. Basketballs?
Is that like a British holiday?
Nope.
No.
Basketball day?
Our special holiday that no one else has is Guy Fawkes Night.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the one with the V for Vendetta mask, right?
We celebrate the stopping someone trying to commit a terrorist attack on the Houses of Parliament, and in that celebration, we blow shit up and burn an effigy of his corpse on fire.
Yeah, it's basically our 4th of July, because that's the night where we have fireworks.
But it's the opposite of 4th of July because it's about maintaining the status quo as opposed to revolution.
Yes, and in the village I used to live in, Albury St Mary, we famously, I think it's just before Guy Fawkes Night, they have tar barrels. It's called tar barrels, where they set tar barrels on fire and run down our street.
I remember you showed us video of
I've got video of this.
Yeah.
It's some of the most dangerous, baffling shit I've ever seen because they don't put up rails.
Yes,
it's just a sea of people and then they sprint. I've seen so many like teenagers not paying attention get barreled over, literally, and with like flaming ash on them. It's super dangerous.
And don't even ask about the cheese rolling.
Oh yeah, cheese rolling.
You know what?
And on that mysterious note, Cesar Espinoza gives 5 pins and says, honestly, the most surprising outcome was the Balatro hate just for being nominated. Oh, well, you shouldn't have hated on it for the Game Awards nominating it. I mean, I suppose if you'd poured your effort into making a really cool looking indie game, and then a game that one guy made with really simple pixel art, won Game of the Year, I could see why there'd be a certain bitterness.
There's
I think that's maybe why I wanted it to win.
In Balatro.
I wanted it to kind of highlight the contrast because the year just before, not like a big AAA team, but kind of a mid-sized studio with AAA budget and high IP won the super polished, super big experience, Baldur's Gate 3. And then the next year it's hey, one dude did it. If that guy can do it, so can you.
It would have been cool.
There you go. Nidorom gives $5 and says, there have been a lot of less games releasing on both PS5/PS4 the past year or two. When you say there are not any games on the PS5, do you mean exclusives? Pretty much.
Mostly, yeah.
I mean, when we talk about no games on the PS5, it's obviously it's got games, but it's got a lot of games that you can run on pretty much anything else.
Anything.
So what's your incentive to buy specifically the PS5 when you could just buy a gaming PC, and then when you're done playing all the games, you could open up Microsoft Word and write all your thoughts about it as well.
Yeah, they're trying to sell you a new PS5 right now, the Pro, and it's why?
Yeah,
what would you play on that you couldn't play elsewhere?
And the graphics tech hasn't significantly improved even since PS4. I mean, half the games referenced in Astro Bot, I mean, the vast majority of the games referenced in Astro Bot, you can only play on PS5 because of PS4 backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Only a very
it's
small
strange.
handful have a special PS5 version.
Yeah, it's an odd push. It's almost like they're just following.
They just feel like
a
they need to
path.
keep putting out
A
new
formula.
consoles because that's what we've
Yeah.
always done.
Right,
But,
yeah. Like this is what we're supposed to do, right? And it's just
Yes.
completely oblivious to just the state of things.
but there's no significant tech upgrade. They went with the lateral tech change with like motion controls for a while, but now there's just back to like the tech that works best, and there's no quantum leaps to be made there. But
Yeah.
anyway, Eric has a member message he'd like us to read.
Oh,
Member for 13 months in ad-free podcast, who says, since I have a member message to waste, what if Sony does a Microsoft? Shuts down Team Asobi despite the awards for not selling enough millions of copies.
oh my god!
Well, I guess
that would be
we'd all
wild.
we'd all be very mad, I suppose.
I mean,
Yeah, I kind of don't see. Like Sony has done that exact thing. Like they shut down Team Japan, right? Like after
Yeah.
what was the Bird Dog game came out and wasn't like a huge hit, and
I feel
people were
like
mad about that.
I feel like everyone who has a PS5 probably will buy an Astro Bot and would probably be well advised to.
yeah.
For whatever that's
That was the
worth.
first PS5 game. It was the first PS5 game I had played in a while because, well, I'd heard good things and Astro Bot is good, so I got it on PS5. But then I sold my PS5 shortly after that, and I wasn't sad about it because
No.
don't care.
Danny123451 gives £5 and says, not necessarily my game of the year, but I have played Deadlock more than anything else this year, and I usually can't stand MOBAs.
That's nice that they're catching the non-mobile.
Yeah, we were
players.
discussing that in
Oh.
Baltimore. We were discussing Deadlock and
Is that the
oh
Valve
no, it was
one?
on a stream with Nick. Yeah,
Is Deadlock the Valve one?
Yeah.
Deadlock's the Valve one that
Yeah.
is doing okay.
Are you still playing that, Jay?
Tonight. Fuck no. Like if
Well,
I wanted
so much for that.
if I wanted a hero shooter, there are better hero shooters, and if I wanted to play a
Ooh,
MOBA, there are
yeah.
better MOBAs.
You could play Marvel Rivals now if you want to.
Which is a really good game. I really like Marvel Rivals.
I got to get on that with you, Jay. I've been
Dude,
messing around with that Hawkeye.
Hop on, dude. I'm so
Nah.
down. Oh, you're a
I
Hawkeye player?
don't-
Oh, dude,
Yes.
Iron Man. I'm an Iron Man main.
fucking Hanzo main.
I was always a Hanzo
don't-
man. Yes.
I
go.
don't play multiplayer shooters. I don't care. Wake me up when they bring out the story mode for single players. Just Existing 45 gives $2 Canadian. Says, thanks, Jabate. That felt genuine. Appreciate you. Don't know what that's
What the
referring
fuck did I
to.
do?
Something
That.
genuine, apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Be you.
I said something genuine. Let's break that. Fuck you.
Okay.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know what I did, but you're more than welcome. You're the best.
Blimey, still got loads of these to get through. Jesus. You all get bloody talkative in post-award season, don't you? Shinzu Akachi 2 gives £2, and says, what did you guys think of mouthwashing? Pretty harrowing stuff. I played through it. Maybe I'll talk about it in the games I didn't review video that I'm not even sure I'm going to make, actually, thinking about it.
I
But
I haven't
yeah.
touched it.
I had sit down time with it at PAX West. And it was, I'm not usually like a big horror guy, but it was a very compelling
Yeah, you got to play
narrative setup.
through it. Got to play through it to get the full effect. But it's not a very long game. It's very narrative focused. It's almost Walking Sim, but not quite. Horror experience.
Yeah, but it definitely holds your
And
attention.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Tsunami Dusha gives $5. Says, happy 20th anniversary to Interstellar 5555. Saw that in theaters instead of watching the Sony Shill Awards. Daft Punk and Leiji Matsumoto were great. Okay, thanks for letting us know how your day's going, Tsunami Dusha.
Wasn't there some controversy with that? Like they re-released that, but like it had like all these AI enhancements or whatever that was like making it not good.
I don't know. I mean, if you're just using AI to sort of like remove VHS grain from an old recording, then I'm fine with that. It's just like using it flat out to create something from scratch that has my biggest objection.
But I think the issue with this was that it's not good. Like they AI upscaled it, and like you can see like artifacts and like it kind of fucks it up in some places. It seems like.
Oh,
at least that's
the
what I've heard.
music video thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that. A Frayne man gives $10 and says, "All right, I'll go play Animal Well." Lol. Well, yes.
Do it.
Why
It's really,
haven't
don't listen
you?
to these chumps. It's really fucking good.
No, the game's good. I like it. I just didn't think it was great, and like all I didn't think it was genre redefining or anything. But I thought it was a really good game. I liked it.
Just
Well, I
letting you
think
see
it's
what my hand's doing.
fantastic.
Yeah. He was like rolled onto his side with that "come hither" look in his eye.
Bless his heart.
All right, Hjor37 gives 20 Danish kroner and says, "Thanks, I will. My 7-year-old wakes at 5, so tired."
Oh, going to sleep. You told him to go to bed.
I told him to go to sleep. Wiener Man gives $5 and says, "Hey, Yahtzee, just wanted to say thanks for all the laughs. I've been watching you since first grade. My favorite game character is Arthur Morgan. You sound like you're still in first grade, Wiener Man." Now I will give my book report on Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a very good book. It is about... Oh, Toffee, have some decency. Right, enough of that. Sorry, I've...
Eric was going through such an ordeal to get the perfect frame, and you turned as soon as he did.
I interrupted myself mid-riff there, and I forgot where it was going. Oh, well. 2.
You were making fun of first graders, I think.
Okay. Yes. Well, they're such easy targets, aren't they? You think you call that a crayon drawing? I could do better than that.
Scum.
I gives 50 CZKs and says 20 times the size of a blue whale. I had no idea your mother was an underwater creature. LO and furthermore L.
Your mum, yeah.
Jewel Rowe, moving hastily on. Jewel Rowe gifted 1 second win membership. Well, thank you very much, Jewel Rowe.
Nice.
Who got it?
Congratulations, whoever got that. 97 Ryman gives $5 and says, "The argument I heard for Astro Bot winning Game of the Year was it is a good signal to the rest of the industry for smaller scale, budget, etc. Happy holidays." Okay, fair enough.
What's the budget on Astro Bot?
Yeah, that's actually a good call out because it's not something I considered. Like, was it that much cheaper to make?
I don't know what the budget was. I mean, they've saved money on voice acting, obviously.
It took 3 years with around 60 developers to make. So, depending on how much they were paid.
Depends on what the salaries were, yeah. And not counting marketing budget. Okay, yeah.
I would hope that is a message that gets some traction.
It is pretty high tech. It does push the cutting edge PS5 graphics tech a lot.
Yeah. There's physics and stuff like that.
But anyway, Diane Spencer gives £50. Also, sorry to interrupt myself. I wouldn't have said it was smaller scale, at least from a game design perspective, because it's got like 500 different mechanics that it uses for all of 5 minutes and then chucks in the bin.
Agreed.
Sorry, Diane Spencer. Like, blue balled you there. What's the female equivalent of blue balling? Like dry sandwiching?
Not coming. Full stop. Just like...
Okay.
Which happens a lot for women, unfortunately. Yeah. God bless you.
Who gives a whole £50? Deep red super chat, no less. That says, "Hi, my favorite streamers. Have some money." Thank you, Diane Spencer.
Well,
I imagine you as... Yes, I imagine you as the actual Princess Diana. I imagine that in Princess Diana's voice.
Well, they're clearly British because they did it in pounds, and according to Americans, all British people know each other. So, Diane, we were clearly high school friends.
Congratulations on faking your death so effectively in that highly publicized car crash in Paris.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the fact you left your corpse. That was the most impressive part.
We don't know whose corpse that was.
We don't know if it was their corpse. Did you know the photographers actually blocked the ambulance drivers from getting to her corpse as quickly as they could have done?
Damn.
Maybe there's a deeper conspiracy there.
Maybe they were in on it.
There you go. They had to make sure ambulance drivers didn't get there until they finished making the fake corpse look absolutely convincing.
Ooh, adding that crisp on the edge. Get that convincing crisp.
Tommy Day Nerds Archives gives $10 Says, as someone who actually watched it, I will never forgive the 2020 Game Awards for giving The Last of Us 2 7 awards. A horrible man who crunched his employees should never be rewarded with that much awards. Well, we don't know if Astro Bot was a result of crunch. We know that it was made by a Japanese studio, and Japanese work environment is basically crunch by default.
Yeah. I mean, by that definition, no AAA team should ever win ever, because they are crunching their tits off.
Yeah, like crunch is bad. Point blank. Period.
Oh, I
right?
agree.
But like the awards aren't for the crunch; it's for like the finished product. So like, you kind of have to separate it.
I tried to take that perspective as a critic. I tried to ignore behind the scenes drama and just focus on the final product as a whole.
Yeah, like not that it can't inform, like your feelings about it, but like in a lot of cases, like it's not a useful criticism of the art at the end.
Exactly, and don't rob the the low level creators who are proud of their contributions to it of
their hard work,
glory. Yeah. Fox D gives $5. Says, let's see Sony, Nintendo, Sega, and Capcom make gaming's answer to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh, that was lightning in a bottle, Fox D. Getting Disney and Warner Brothers to cooperate on a single picture with multiple characters licensed.
And also, Who Framed Roger Rabbit of gaming is kind of Kingdom Hearts, right?
I would have said
different IPs.
I would have said Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I would argue it's Smash Bros.
Yeah, okay, no, I did. I also dig that. I just forgot about it. I forgot it existed. I'm sorry, Casey.
I can't be in a room with KC and not be constantly thinking of Smash Brothers. Because it's like, oh yeah, there's KC. He plays the shit out of Smash Brothers. The first two thoughts in my head as I reestablished you in my mind.
I'm okay.
No,
just
you're really good.
All right, suck his dick later. Just existing 45 gives $2 CA. Says, can't just drop that and move on. What happened? Well, now I don't know what you're talking about. Just existing 45.
It was
thanks for the money.
Probably the when you were talking about crap. Now my brain is like taking the information back. But it was when you specifically said that you were going to leave that where it was. But
that helps.
Yeah, right. Whatever that topic
has
left my brain now.
I'm waiting for the chat to remind me what the hell Just Existing 45 is talking about. Yeah, in the future, just compose your super chats, assuming it's being read out long out of context, viewers.
Yeah, regarding blah.
Yes. The Discord conversation, I said. The mention of pumped up kicks.
Oh, right.
No, it's just like Jack posted something on the company Slack this morning that featured like the song Pumped Up Kicks and his mishearing of the lyrics. It was like an internal, it was an in-joke. It was like a private gag. I'm sorry, I regret bringing it up, frankly.
You guys might see it if, maybe it'll show up somewhere in the future. Maybe it's a Patreon thing.
No, I'll make sure it won't. I will. Okay. I will go to the ends of the earth so it won't. If this gets posted by any of us internally, I will delete that shit. Fuck all of you.
Charles, Jay, being genuine once again.
Charles Coates gives $5. Says, did anybody get fatigued watching the trailers and teasers? I couldn't help but feel underwhelmed throughout the Game Awards. Yeah, I get fatigued anyway. I don't even watch it. I just go to Wikipedia for a nice dry summary of the winners after the fact.
There was definitely some kind of bloat in the middle. It started off really strong. It had some super noteworthy announcements at the start, and then they finished off strong as well. So a lot of what was in the very middle was kind of take it or leave it. Some of it was fine, some of it was okay, but nothing really exciting. And that's probably what that was.
I don't mind the speeches.
Opposite of a sandwich.
Speeches and acceptances for the awards, handing out the awards, boom. The trailers, boom. The masturbatory shit in between, get out. Like, getting all the actors out, just fuck off.
Yeah.
They didn't have as much as that, though. Like, it was toned down in comparison. Like, that was one of the criticisms, like the masturbatory stuff to actors, etc. They did tone it down. Like, Anthony Mackie was nowhere in sight.
Well, good on him.
God.
Well done, Jeff. You're the best.
You know what I'd like to hear from? I'd like to hear from people who are popular celebrities who are secretly really, really into gaming and really passionate about it. I want to hear more from the Henry Cavills and the Vin Diesels of the world.
Yeah. Maybe not Vin Diesel, because he's actually insane.
Okay.
Is he?
But
yeah, he's got a Facebook page where he just posts Photoshop pictures of himself with angel wings and shit. It's like, really weird.
Isn't it? Who's it? Is it Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre or someone like that who's really into streaming Madden?
Oh, that's Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg showed up. Yeah, he actually performed.
He
there you go.
He also like has a whole league of he like coaches children for football.
Yeah, I think he supports like a youth esports league. And they announced yesterday, as he walked on stage to give an award for something that I forgot, that Death Row has a freaking gaming studio, and I was like, "What?
They're making Death Row inmates make games?"
No, the label Death Row.
Oh,
the label that he and Dre belonged to is called Death Row, and now they even have Death Row Games.
Man, why can't every hip hop artist be as wholesome as Snoop Dogg? Well,
Snoop Dogg is a treasure.
He's even named after a character from Peanuts.
Wasn't he a literal pimp?
No, it's a character he plays.
Okay.
Yeah. See, some hip hop artists are actual gangsters and have done really shady shit.
Yeah.
Like, who's the one who did Trapped in the Closet?
Oh, R. Kelly? He's not a gangster. Yeah. He's a criminal.
He's a sex criminal.
Yeah. It's a shame that we got R. Kelly bringing down hip hop when Snoop Dogg is there, and I think there's a lot of like middle-aged white people who think of like hip hop and think of Snoop Dogg and think, I assume Snoop Dogg probably got arrested for some kind of gun violence at some point in his life.
Right?
Haven't they all?
Just a good
no,
dog,
he's just a nice wholesome
whatsoever.
Just a nice wholesome man who makes nice things.
Like he's well known outside of his music for his love of marijuana, just like Willie Nelson.
Yes.
So like people love him. He's just like, I'm not even a big fan of Snoop Dogg's music. He's just really fun to watch whenever he's just a part of something.
As a person, right?
Yeah, like he hosts like random sporting things. Like he was a commentator for like that Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson fight when they were both like over 50 something not that long ago. He's hilarious.
Him and Kevin Hart did like an Olympics thing recently, didn't they? They hosted some of
Yeah. Snoop was involved with like the entirety of the Olympics thing. I think Kevin Hart showed up at some point, but like Snoop was just like their special guest host for the Olympics.
Okay, we're getting seriously sidetracked, and I really want my fucking lunch. So let's hurry.
Started it, dude. You literally started this conversation.
Well, I didn't realize Casey was so excited about the prospect of talking about what a nice man Snoop Dogg is.
Everyone should be.
Onyxia gives $2 and says, "We need more caramel bunny, Eric."
Oh God!
What have you done to me, Eric? What have you done?
Whoop Whoop gives $2 and says, "Bonus donation for pseudo regalia appreciation."
You horny bastards!
I've played a lot of it. I just got too horny.
It's pretty unique game, that. Gay Bear Daddy 2 gives $2 and says, "Just trying to extend the runtime of the stream." Gay Bear Daddy 2, I will foil you by moving on immediately. Whoop gives $5 and says, "What would you play on the PS5 Pro you can't play elsewhere?" GTA 6. Everything other game is a cherry on top to lure in those on the fence. Yes, what I predicted and very obviously won the most anticipated game award.
Yeah.
Is it an exclusive?
No, it's not.
No.
It's just people assume because that's the now strongest thing that's where it's going to run the best. I'm going to play it on my Xbox because that's what I play.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it on my PS4. I'm 5.
Have they said if it's going to be... Well, because Rockstar have been very famous in delaying their PC releases. Is it not on PC to begin with?
If I'm not mistaken, this one is supposed to launch at the same time, which they don't usually do.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Well, then it will run better on my PC than it will a PS5 Pro, I'll tell you that. So
okay. Well, Just Existing 45 gives $2 Canadian and says, "Your reaction to my previous joy comment." The last time I felt joy was when I was tripping on LSD. Well, it wasn't because of anything specific. It's just like during an early, like, happy phase of the trip, I suddenly thought I understood, like, the entire universe. And for some reason, by staring at repeating patterns and listening to multiple overlaid zero punctuation videos so that it all turned into, like, chaotic noise, suddenly I thought I understood all of creation in that moment. And that was when I felt joy.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, that's
You're really
what
selling me on LSD.
Well, LSD, the thing about LSD is that it's a heads and tails experience, because after the joy part, I then, my trip went in a bad direction. And I had to spend like 6 hours staring into space to calm myself down.
Yeah, and didn't like rip your own face off or something like some people
Yeah.
do on mushrooms and LSD.
All right, yeah. You're not selling me anymore.
Okay. Mr. Pepe gives $5 and says, Black Myth Wukong fans review bombing Baldur's Gate 3 on Steam for the director's TGA speech because they can't review bomb Astro Bot directly is peak comedy. Well, that's just mean. Be nice to Baldur's Gate 3. They were nice to you.
Is there a way we can stop review bombing? Like, do you have to have a certain amount of time in the game or something like that? Because it's so shit.
I don't know why user reviews, and this sounds like I'm on a high horse, but bear with me. I don't know why user reviews carry any weight whatsoever, because you can literally just go on and say anything.
Yeah, but if you go to if you're browsing on Steam and you're thinking about buying a game and it says overwhelmingly positive, like 2,000 reviews, that's a big factor in my decision-making process. I was like, oh, I guess it is good. I'll give it a crack.
I see the value in them. I just think that we could be doing something to shield from political review bombing But there's also value in it in like Helldivers when the whole thing happened with Sony. Everyone went over and review bombed it, right? And there's some value in that to show players that now things are different. But
see, on Steam, it's got like summary of recent reviews and overall reviews. So if overall reviews is very positive and recent reviews is mixed, then you go, yeah, there's been a review bomb.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's unclear what the best path forward is.
Nidarom gives $5 and says, PS5 you can purchase physical media for, and it is close to impossible to get 4K Blu-rays on a Windows PC. Isn't the death of physical media concerning? Well, it's apparently not concerning many people.
It is impossible to get 4K Blu-rays on PC. There has to be an external Blu-ray player that you can put in your PC.
I mean, nothing's stopping you downloading your favorite games onto like massive thumb drives if that's what you want.
Isn't something stopping you? Is it some sort of copyright protection stopping you from doing that?
Well, maybe actually. I mean, you could buy the GOG version.
Well, there's Pioneer Portable Ultra 4K Blu-ray player for the PC. There's like 50 of them on Amazon.
I think they should just like sell boxed games on just USB drives. Just you open the box and there's a USB drive you just plug into your PC, and then you could run it on a PlayStation as well. Except
I prefer just going to Steam and then just downloading it.
Yeah, Eric with a quick message in the chat says, not with Intel CPUs. You can't play Blu-rays from 11th gen because of an architecture feature that was removed. You can play these on a Mac. It's an encryption thing.
Well, when was the last time you had a PC with a disk drive?
It's like if you want to do it, like the PS5 is just you can get a Blu-ray player that will play Blu-rays by itself for 1/5 of the price, right?
Anyway, just a few left, and it's almost noon, so I gotta hurry. Fox D gives $5 that says people in gaming media talking about the Game Awards is more interesting than the actual Game Awards. I was too busy gaming to watch the awards. That's my attitude.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks.
Just come listen to us.
Be those people. Yeah.
Onyxia gives $5 and says, have we all collectively forgotten Snoop was on trial for murder? Well, I couldn't have forgotten it because I didn't know it in the first place.
But did he do it though? Trial says no.
Yeah, but that's because O.J. Simpson was also on trial and he definitely didn't do it, right?
Right.
Oh, well, he wrote a whole book called "If I Did It,"
right,
implying that he hadn't. So, and I guess he would know. Gay Bear Daddy 2.
We're not gonna equate Snoop Dogg to OJ Simpson. We're just not gonna do that.
No. Moving on. Gay Bear Daddy 2 goes $5. Says, any opinions on Split Fiction announced at the Game Awards? If Yahtzee plays, would it be a Nick and Yahtzee game like It Takes Two? I don't know.
Have you not seen that trailer?
No, I haven't. Is it another co-op focused thing?
Yes,
It's
the
this
new
co-op
Haze
from the
Light
team
game.
that did It Takes Two, and
Yeah,
It's
Those
the
guys.
same team as It Takes Two.
yeah, it's their new game coming.
It's all they bloody make. It's like games for two people.
that's
Yeah,
their
it's their
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
it's their thing.
Even their first game was a solo game that was
But
for two
it
people.
had the spirit of two people in it.
Yahtzee, what
Yeah.
are you on about? That's like being like, oh my god, FromSoft, they made a Souls-like. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what they do.
Okay. Whatever. Is the dude just in a really, really happy marriage or something?
I honestly hope so. I hope he's making these because he wants to play these games.
Like,
that would be
Honestly,
joyous.
yes. Like the two characters in this game are named after his two daughters.
Oh, there you go. Is that
I
he
like
just makes
that.
games for his daughters? Is that just what he does?
That's beautiful.
Well, no, because he also has a great, strong relationship with his older brother, who's an actor, and I think that's what some of the earlier
Alright.
games were about.
Yeah,
like his
the
relationship with his
way
brother.
out.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. Anyway, Harrison94 went for 13 months in tip jar and then says, here's some more money, yay for video games. Thank you, Harrison94.
Yay!
Yay for you. Thank you.
And then Wojtek gives $5, says, happy holidays, lads. Thanks for Adventure is Nigh. My wife and I watch it every Saturday. Yes, it's the new Saturday morning cartoon, is Adventure is Nigh.
Yeah, I love it.
Everyone check it out. Phew, that's all the super chats. Thanks for listening to the Windbreakers podcast, everyone. I'm sure we all had something we can all go away with something to think about there. Whether it be the Game Awards or Snoop Dogg being a murderer. I was Yahtzee Crowshaw, as always. I was joined by Jay, as always. And not as always, I was joined by KC as well.
Nice to be here.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for coming.
I've got Fully Emblematic coming this week on Wednesday. It will be on the subject of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and you'll want to check in there for that because it will be the last Fully Emblematic of 2024. I won't be back till January 1st with my top 5, bottom 5, and blandest 5. Oh, and Semi-Emblematic would normally be this week, but it isn't because we hate you. No, because we were all away from our desks for Omar's wedding. So Matt's...
Yeah, congrats to Omar.
Yeah, congrats, Omar.
We love you, Omar.
So Matt, the editor, still needs a bit of time to work on that. So that will be out next week. It will be a fun Boxing Day treat.
100%.
Oh, wait, we don't have Boxing Day in America. I forgot.
What?
I know. It's just Christmas Day and that's your lot.
Fuck. Well,
I mean,
I'll
you
go back
kind
for
of
Boxing
treat
Day.
Christmas Eve with some revelry, but it's not like
So-
official.
Mm.
Okay. One last super chat from Nick Matthewson saying, wait, how was the wedding? It was lovely. You should have gone. KC,
Yeah.
you should have gone.
I wish I could have. I went to my son's ceremony. He didn't get married. He just got a black belt.
Well, you only ever get one of those.
It was real good. It was a wonderful wedding with lots of gaming music, and then yachts. I and a few of us went and saw a load of boats. It was great.
Yeah. Actually, my favorite part, I want to say, I mean, not denigrating the wedding, it was a great wedding, but my favorite part was when we all got chucked out of the venue and we just hung out at the bar, getting a few rounds in, chatting around three
We
tables.
need to do a
making
second
sure-
wind holiday. We need to
Yeah.
take some time away or go hang out. I would love that.
Mm.
It was fun to get two hard ciders down me and bullshit with the lads and
Yeah.
the one lass.
Yes, yes.
The two lasses, actually.
Nothing.
Jesse's... two lasses, actually. Jesse's significant other was there. Although Jesse himself
Devin.
wasn't. He was ill.
He was ill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You two need
got
to get
sidetracked.
your plug. You two
Oh,
need to
right.
get your plugs in.
The Design Delve wasn't last week because I was away. So I think it's either tomorrow or later this week. But there's going to be another one tomorrow. So you're going to get one this week and one next week. We got DevHeads this Friday. We got a wonderful guest, a friend of mine, coming on. And content. I'm done.
Nice. As usual, you guys can find me all over the internet, Sigma Gears 9. Speaking of Jesse being sick, he won't be present for Hot Monday Energy / Hidden Gems tonight, but Jay graciously will be filling in. So we'll have him on stream with us playing through.
I forgot about that.
So hopefully Jay will be joining us. Outside of that, no streams from me and my future wife in the current holiday season. Like, we just got too many trips and things to do. So like, we'll be seeing you guys in the new year with all that stuff. Same with my Sunday Smash streams. So just check out the Twitter or the Blue Sky or whatever, and you'll get updates on all the stuff I'm doing. But should also be back for Firelink on Wednesday. And I think we'll be doing the last Metroid of the year this Thursday. So that's the plan. Maybe not. We'll see.
Last Metroid of the year. It's like the first snowflake.
Yes. Get that Zebus.
All right. All right, that's it from us. Bye.
Bye.